Hey Simmers, welcome to Gamer Image. In this video, we're going to go over how to install The Sims 4 for free using Steam the quickest way. Stay tuned. In my past videos, I've covered how to manipulate TS4, the mods, and an already installed game, but I've never done a full walkthrough top to bottom for how to get The Sims 4 on a particular platform. Well, that ends today. Stick around to the end because we're going to be creating accounts, optimizing game download speeds, using external hard drives, and so much more through this video. You'll just need to make sure of a few things before we start. 1. That you're the administrator of the computer and can open items by right-clicking them and successfully opening them as an administrator. 2. That you can create online accounts. And 3. That you are so unfamiliar with PowerShell that running one line in a command line seems foreign to you. Don't worry, this is easy. You'll wonder why command line sounds so hard. Oh, and 4, you gotta have some time because we're gonna be doing a lot in this tutorial. First, we're going to do a Google search for Create Steam Account. This is because creating a Steam account is not really that intuitive through the Steam website for some reason. Now go ahead and fill in your email and password that you wish, and then complete the CAPTCHA. Once complete, you'll receive an email with a verification button. Head to your email, find the Steam verification, and click the button to verify the email. It'll pop up with another tab telling you to close the tab since you verified and continued through the former tab. Go ahead and log into the Steam website. In the top right-hand corner, go ahead and search for The Sims 4. Now, when you go to download the game using the green button on the bottom, you'll be prompted whether or not you have Steam installed or not. If this is your first time using Steam, you'll click No and that you need the Steam app. Once it downloads, open the installer. This will prompt you to where you want to install the game. If you're like me, you probably are wanting to save as much space as possible on your computer and have an external drive plugged in. Here, you can select that drive and create a folder if necessary to install it. Here, I'm using my H drive with a folder called Installed Programs. Add a backslash and the word Steam to the folder directory. After this, the application will begin downloading and updating as necessary. Once the application is fully installed, go ahead and log into your Steam account. For simplicity, head back to your browser and hit back on the tab you were just using to search for The Sims 4. Act like you're going to get the game again, and this time select that you have the Steam client and check to always open this from Steam. Now this is super important for those that have external hard drives. During this area, if you have already installed the Steam app on the external drive, you'll most likely be prompted to install The Sims 4 onto this hard drive. However, if it does not, select the correct drive which will say Create New Steam Library on XYZ drive. If you've accidentally installed the Steam app on your C drive but want to have the games installed on a separate drive, this is totally okay as well. Just select your drive from the dropdown. Click Finish on the download prompt that appears here. If you have The Sims 4 installed and you want to, go ahead and move its installation. Simply click the game, click on the Settings gear, and go to Property. Inside here, there is a Local Files tab. Click this tab and then click Move Install Folder, ... Then, at this point, you would be able to select which drive you would like to move the game over to. Now we're going to optimize the Steam app to download more efficiently. As you can see here, the Steam app, not its web helper, is responsible for most of the power usage on the computer. This tells us that this program is doing the bulk of the work. So now we're going to adjust some of the program's properties here in the Task Manager. To open the Task Manager, hit Ctrl, Shift, and Escape together. This will pull up the Task Manager. Click More Details in the bottom left-hand corner to get this full view if you've never opened Task Manager before. Go to the Details tab. In Windows 11, this tab is the one on the left with the 3 horizontal dots in line. Select any of the processes listed and begin typing the word Steam on your keyboard. This will automatically snap the list to the steam.exe app from the list. Now, right-click this app and hover over Set Priority. On the options that appear, we're going to be setting this to real-time. Now, some key features to setting apps to real-time. Apps in real-time priority will override mouse and keyboard requests. Real-time apps can override other application requests such as opening other apps. These applications can make the computer feel very laggy. I would suggest that if you're going to use the computer for other things, just set this to high. However, if you want this download to crank up the heat and get going, you'll want to set it to real-time. And as you can see here, our download speeds have increased by a full megabyte, and later on, by 2 megabytes per second. After the Steam app has done its stuff, you'll see the green Play button. Clicking on this will then bring up the EA installer, and then you'll just have to wait for it to complete its stuff. Next, you'll be required to sign into the EA app. Unfortunately, there's no runaround to get through this, so we'll have to create an EA account for the sake of getting access to the game. Verify your email while you're busy getting the code for the game, just for ease. Once you've verified everything, go ahead and link the Steam account and EA together. Now, when you hit the play button in Steam, it'll launch EA, which will then launch the game. Now, on the first launch, all mods will be disabled, so go ahead and enable any mods and scripts and then exit the game. If you want to move your mods here at this point, you can right-click your Documents folder and click on the Location tab and create a new folder on your external drive named Document and move the data there. However, if you don't have it that easy and can't just move your Documents folder, open 2 File Explorer windows and then right-click on the Start menu, select Terminal Admin or Windows PowerShell Admin. Snap these windows like such for ease of access. In the PowerShell window, type CMD and hit Enter. Make sure that this window shows Administrator in the title or none of this will work for you. In the top right window, go ahead and open the Documents folder, go into Electronic Arts, and copy the address in the address bar. This should give you the full address passed. In the PowerShell window, type the following: mklink /d space, put 2 sets of double quotes and go back 1. Now copy and paste the full address from the top window into the quotations. Next, go back to the Documents folder. In the bottom right-hand window, go ahead and find the place on your external drive you want to move the Electronic Arts folder to. Once you've found a place, right-click the Electronic Arts folder in the top right-hand window and select Cut. In Windows 11, it's the pair of scissors. In a blank space in the folder, you want to move it to on the external drive, right-click and select Paste. This is the clipboard in Windows 11. Wait until the move completes. In the PowerShell window, add a space and a double quote after the last set of double quotes. In the directory where your Electronic Arts folder is, go ahead and go into the directory. Now select the entire address in the address bar and press Ctrl+C to copy the entire directory location. Now go to the PowerShell window and hit Ctrl+V to paste the address. Now close the set of quotation marks and hit enter. Be sure to like, subscribe, and enable notifications for all of my videos. If the command is completed successfully, you'll see a symbolic link created for both directories with some arrows pointing both ways. If this message displays something like a failed to create a symbolic link file exists, then this means that the Electronic Arts folder exists in the document on your C drive and that it needs to be moved or properly deleted. Do not delete the Electronic Arts folder before verifying that it's been moved first. I would hate for you guys to lose any or all data if you have a large mods folder already prepped here. Basically, the command is creating a link named the exact same thing as what was there before. So the Electronic Arts folder cannot exist inside the Documents folder. It has to be elsewhere before the link can be created. Refresh your Documents folder and you should see a shortcut to a file folder here named Electronic Arts. If for some reason you need to undo these changes, simply right-click the Electronic Arts folder shortcut in your Documents folder and then delete it. Then cut and paste your Electronic Arts folder from the external drive back into the Documents file folder. Here, I simply copied it, but if you're needing to save space on your external drive, you'll want to cut and paste it instead. And there you have it, Simmers, a complete walkthrough from start to finish for getting The Sims 4 on the Steam app. Please comment below because I want to know if this was helpful for all of you. Also, building a community is important here too. Until next time.
Hey guys, check out this video that YouTube thinks is best for you, or check out my most recent video below it. Thanks for watching!